News Panorama is a TV news magazine program that gives you the story behind the story.
It tells the stories the way they should be told, by capturing the larger scale.
It deals with people's deep feelings on issues that, when brought to the fore, ultimately educates, informs and entertains.
News Panorama. Capture the larger scale.
It is still a season considered as the Cross River State Governor's 100 days in office. This week on News Panorama, we take a look at people's reaction to the Cross River State Governor's achievements within this short period. Promises made by Governor Otu to Cross Riverians to commemorate his 100 days in office, security in Akamkpa, street lights and combating excessive sugar consumption in Nigeria. Welcome and thanks for joining me on the program News Panorama. I am Josephine Efanga.
News Panorama. Capture the larger scale.
If you have just tuned in, you are watching News Panorama. 100 days into his administration, it is said by Cross Riverians that noticeable progress can be seen in the state. Isaac Daniel went around Calabar Metropolis to get people's view on Governor Bassey Otu's 100 days in office, as read from our studio. The report.
On May 29, 2023, the Governor, Senator Bassey Otu, took the oath of office as the fourth governor of Cross River State in the current democratic dispensation and vowed to run a robust administration that would see the state moving forward to the next level in terms of development. After 100 days of being at the helm of affairs of Cross River State, can it be said that Governor Otu is making significant progress in his determination to transform and lift the state to greater heights? The Commissioner for Information and Orientation, Mr. Erasmus Ekpang, and some of his counterparts in separate interviews noted that their duty is to ensure that they contributed to the governor's success and also wished him well as he marks 100 days in the office.
He has done very well in many aspects. In security, you can see that the town, Calabar, right now, it's a bit calm. We have seen curfews when Akpabu and Bakassi were a bit hot. The governor was able to impose curfew. We're expecting equipment that would actually dictate kidnappers where they are and how to fish them. And as I speak to you, Calabar is actually returning back to that hub of tourism.
I'm convinced that Cross Riverians will, in due course, completely transform. Their lives will be completely transformed because of the programs I know His Excellency is bringing on board to change the life of every citizen of Cross River State.
Your Excellency, Senator Prince Bassey Otu, I'd like to congratulate you on the completion of your first 100 days in office. Within these few days, the state has experienced tremendous changes from your people first mantra. You have brought in an experienced lieutenant as commissioners to pilot the affairs of the state with you.
Though believed not to be enough to assess performance, the idea of first 100 days in office has over time been used to describe the incipient stage of a new leadership and measure the success of a new administration based on the strategies, action plans, programs and policies put in place within the period. Some members of the Cross River State House of Assembly, Engineer Francis Ogban and Mr. Ayo Bassey, applauded the governor for his achievements in office for his 100 days.
We have seen a lot of changes in the state. What was really pressing, what was so worrisome in the state then, was the issue of security. Security in Akpabuyo, security in Bakassi, security in Calabar South, Calabar Municipality, security even in Akamkpa and again in Biase, in short across the state. But we can equally see that within these 100 days in office, our governor has done tremendously well.
And so far, His Excellency, the People's Governor, has done exceptionally well in the areas of tourism development, security, health, and civil service, and even education. I sincerely commend the effort of His Excellency so far. And I want to say that because the sweet prince, this sweetness, this season of sweetness is even getting sweeter.
In his first 100 days in office, Governor Tu has taken very commendable steps to reposition the ship of the state for the better performance and efficiency in the system. He has made laudable moves to stabilize the system and correct certain things that were not seen to have been properly done. Others lauded the reforms that the governor had carried out to establish a workable system that will open the doors for economic growth and development in the states.
So we congratulate the governor for his 100 days of accessibility, 100 days of humility, 100 days of transparency, 100 days of empowerment to the people, 100 days of returning Cross Riverians State to where it ought to be.
My wish for them is that God's protection, wisdom will continue to be their portion. His Excellency and his dear wife are just here as the tools that Jesus Christ is using to rule the state.
It is a day of joy and happiness to thank the Almighty God for giving us a government, a mixed-in government. Really thank God for himself, his wife health, good health, and able to both of them.
I wish him well. I believe that he's going to look into the affair of Cross Riverians State very well.
Eriti Christopher for CRBC News Panorama.
As part of palliative measures to cushion the effect of the removal of subsidy by the federal government, the state governor, Prince Bassey Otu, has announced the introduction of 10,000 naira allowance for civil servants for the next 6 months, beginning from September 2023. Our correspondent, Blessing Bassey, was in the streets of Calabar to sample opinions, reactions, and words to the governor regarding the announcement. The reports.
In response to the federal government's decision to remove fuel subsidy, State Governor Senator Bassey Otu has unveiled a significant palliative measure aimed at alleviating the potential economic burden faced by civil servants. The governor has declared the introduction of a monthly 10,000 naira allowance for all civil servants for the next 6 months, commencing from September 2023, as well as 3 days on and 2 days off at their various places of work. This proactive step underscores the state's commitment to supporting its workforce during a challenging economic transition. The governor's announcement has triggered a wave of reactions among civil servants across the state, as many have expressed appreciation for this timely intervention, acknowledging the financial strain caused by fuel subsidy removal. Some personalities view the 10,000 naira allowance as a welcome gesture that will help them cope with rising cost of transportation and living expenses.
During the handshake, the state governor had approved the release of 10,000 naira allowances to all civil servants in the state. And he also went further to say that in consultation with relevant stakeholders, there will also be a 2-day off work for junior civil servants. And when that is agreed upon, there will be transport allowances to senior civil servants that will work around the 5 days.
That is given 10,000 naira to the workers. That's to alleviate the suffering, the pains that they are passing through because of this subsidy removal. And then the 2 days off from work is part of what we encourage the workers. Instead of having 5 days from Monday to Friday, you have 3 days to go to work. Probably the other 2 days you could use them to do something at home. It's part of poverty, the palliative that the government has created. Any worker who felt maybe with what the governor has done by giving 10,000 as supportive mechanism to their welfare and then removing 2 days from their working days in office, then the person is not appreciative. They have to appreciate what the governor has done.
Others emphasize the importance of transparent and accountable administration of the allowance program to ensure it reaches those who need it the most. Additionally, there are calls for a continued dialogue between the government and civil servants representatives to address broader economic concerns.
Well, I've always said that the governor has a superior wisdom to our president. The reason is that all of us donated our wisdom to him to run the state for us. We have the confidence and the trust that they can run the state and he knows what is good for the state. Clearly also, the government has run in a people-oriented program and he has the empathy of the people of Cross River State at heart.
We expect His Excellency to do and to show empathy for workers until such a time when all the palliative efforts would start to yield fruit. I sincerely commend His Excellency's approval of the reduction in the number of days for civil servants and allowances for senior civil servants.
I commend him for that. It's very commendable because we know the present situation of final source in Nigeria with the removal of the subsidy. The populace are going through so much. So for him to have thought it wise to add 10,000 naira to the civil servants' salary and then giving them some days off is quite commendable.
Overall, the governor's palliative measure is seen as a significant step in the right direction, and the hope is that it will be part of a more comprehensive strategy to navigate the challenges posed by the fuel subsidy removal effectively. For CRBC News Panorama, Blessing Bassey reporting.
Cross River State Governor reiterates the state's commitment in curbing crime in the state, as the state is ready to continuously partner with all security agencies in the state. The report.
The Cross River State Governor, Senator Bassey Otu, has played host to the General Commanding Officer, 82 Division of the Nigerian Army, Major General Azan Dada, and his entourage in Calabar. Major General Dada, who recently assumed office as GOC 82 Division, said it was customary to carry out familiarization tour of the state under an officer's command, and he has therefore come to pay homage to the Governor of Cross River State, one of the 6 states under his division. Major General Dada added that it is both nostalgic and gratifying to be in the state, having been here years ago as a commanding officer, 146 Battalion, and also been a Malabite. The GOC solicited the cooperation of the state government and other sister agencies to tackle the challenges of kidnapping, piracy, cultism, and communal clashes that have plagued the state in recent times. He assured the government that with their cooperation, even though the task ahead is herculean, the command has the capacity and expertise to deliver.
I'm coming here today, Your Excellency, to just solicit your support, which you have been giving. You are just asking for more of that. And if there's anything that you feel I would need to take note of, we'll be more than willing to do that. If there's anything you feel we should replace, we'll be more than happy to do that. On this note, I want to thank you most sincerely for creating time out. On behalf of officers and men of 82 Division, we are indeed very grateful for the support, and I want to believe in months to come that the glory that we used to know Cross River for will be restored, and Cross River will be one of the destinations that everybody all over the world in the country will be heading to.
The Cross River State Governor, represented by his deputy, Right Honorable Peter Ode, welcomed Major General Dada, who was accompanied by the commander of the 13th Brigade, Nigerian Army, Brigadier General E.I. Okoro, and other high-ranking officers. Right Honorable Ode applauded them for being proactive in Ikan axis of the state by curbing the menace of kidnapping and also still manning the Yala-Benue state border to ensure that peace and security return to the state. The Deputy Governor assured them of government's commitment in ensuring that Cross Riverians have the freedom to go about their businesses unhindered.
The government and people of Cross River State are immensely grateful to the Nigerian Army for all that you are doing for us. And we know that we are going to do more to ensure that Calabar return back to what it used to be, where people can move around peacefully. There will be no more kidnapping, there will be no more court clashes, there will be no more communal clashes, and people will be able to go around their normal activities. So I welcome you again, and on behalf of the government, I want to thank you once again.
Present at the visit were the senator representing Cross River State Central Senatorial District, Senator Eteng Jones-Williams, Commissioner for Information and Orientation, Mr. Erasmus Ekpang, and the Chief of Staff to the Governor, Mr. Emmanuel Ayomba, the Head of Service, State Security Advisor, and other political appointees. For CRBC News Panorama, I am Josephine Efanga.
The state government has been urged to collaborate with the Nigerian police force to beef up security agencies and check the rising crime rates in Cross River State. Esina Wanene brings details, the report.
The state government has been urged to, through the State Security Advisor, collaborate with the Nigeria Police Force and other security agencies to beef up security to meet with the rising crime rates. This formed part of a 5-point resolution arising from a matter of urgent public interest on the attack and killing of policemen by criminals in Akamkpa local government area by the member for Akamkpa 1, Utufamokono Wuna. The resolution also calls on government to procure and dispatch police vehicles to the 3 police formations, urging the local government authority to take necessary steps to provide monthly support to ease their operations. It calls on government to constitute community vigilante groups to complement police efforts and cooperate with community-based organizations as well as investors to assist government by providing security support towards fighting crime rates.
The matter of urgent public importance concerns attack on the Nigerian Police Force Area Command and the killing of armed police officers by criminal elements in Akamkpa local government. Whereas, Mr. Speaker, Section 14, Chapter 2 of the Constitution of Federal Government of Nigeria has ordered which provides that security is the primary duty of government. Mr. Speaker, in June 2023, a police officer was killed at Jodra village in Akamkpa town by criminal elements. The matter is still under investigation.
Members decried inadequate security personnel and stressed the need for government to take decisive steps on penalties to be meted on killers of policemen. They pointed out the importance of engaging the youth in meaningful ventures to divert their attention from crime, adding that security should be every citizen's concern.
I rise to support the motion as being moved by the Representative of Akamkpa 1. Mr. Speaker, security is all our business. We are all concerned with security. And we all know the number of policemen carrying our citizens, they are not up to the number. Recently, from the UN report, we are under police. So for us to kill the small quantity, the number that we have to reduce the number by the acts of our own citizens is very, very important.
Security is a business of everyone. Every one of us need to look into security of our entire community. And now, as we all know, the number of policemen engaged in security in Cross River State, they are not even enough to do the work. And we are yet killing the few ones we have. If we allow this menace to continue, then definitely we are emboldening the criminals.
I wish to support this motion calling on National Youth Council of Nigeria. All those youths belong to one association or the other. I am thinking that we should engage them.
The Speaker, Mr. Albert Ayambem, condemned in strong terms the killing of policemen posted to ensure the security of the area.
Those in support, those against, the ayes have it. The prayer to come the resolution of this House.
For CRBC News Panorama, Isiana Wanine.
Let street lights provide bright and uniform illumination, ensuring that roads and public spaces are well lit, making them safer for pedestrians and drivers alike. Well-lit areas also discourage vandalization and other criminal activities, enhancing overall security in the area. Importance of street lights in Calabar Metropolis, the report.
A street light is a source of light, often mounted on a lamp column or pole, either on the side of the road or within the median, or suspended on a wire above the road to provide illumination. Street lights are proven ways of reducing robberies, burglaries, property defacement, property damage, and other crimes that often happen in the dark by ensuring that property have adequate lighting around them. Presence of street lights can reduce risks and reduce activities of criminal elements. A respondent said that a street light is light mounted at special points during the light. Street lights makes the street very bright and also increases visibility. However, lack of street lights on the street can increase the rate of criminal activities, which include robberies and kidnapping. Street lights also help to reduce the rate of accidents on the road.
Street lights are lights that are mounted on high poles on the street at special points during the night. And it's usually, when I say during the night, I mean that it's usually on during the night. The main purpose of street lights is that it makes the street very bright and as such increase visibility. If there's no street light on the street, it actually increases the rate of criminal activities which might occur during the night, because many thieves actually operate when it's dark. So imagine if there is no street light around the street in the night. This will give them a very good opportunity to carry out their evil deeds.
The component of a complete street light consists of a light source, an optical element, an electrical panel, a support structure, and light pole foundation. Another respondent spoke on the importance of street lights. He said street lights makes the street shine at night and also adds beauty to the street. The respondent said without the street light, the street will not look nice and it will be dark.
The importance of street lights is enabled to make the street shine, to bright everywhere, and also make the street too nice. Without the street light, everywhere will be dark. The development lights that help the state to look nice and look beautiful, and with the street light can make everywhere to be safe.
Absence of street light makes it difficult for drivers to see potential hazard on the road, particularly at night. It affects visibility of road signs, other drivers, pedestrians, and cyclists, and other road users. Furthermore, bad lighting can increase certain driving hazards. Street lights are required to be positioned in a way that's beneficial instead of being harmful to the public. Blessing Basi, reporting for CRBC News Panorama.
In a bid to combat the rising public health concerns associated with the excessive sugar consumption, the Federal Ministry of Health has expressed commitment to increase the tax on sugar-sweetened beverages. Inyang Basi tells us more. The report.
Amidst growing outcry over multiple taxation in Nigeria, the federal government has introduced an excise duty of 10 naira per litre on all non-alcoholic, carbonated and sweetened beverage. The Nigerian government announced the implementation of excise tax of 10 naira per litre on sweetened beverages as part of efforts to prevent and discourage excessive consumption of sugar, which contributes to obesity, diabetes and other diseases. Beverage manufacturing companies also lamented that the tax will collapse their industry, stating that what the industry needs from government at this time is enabling policies, not additional tax burden. Some citizens are not in support of Federal Ministry of Health and the federal government increasing tax on beverage, as it is one of the most accessible and easy snack drink for both students and youth.
Students normally have it like to support themselves during after lecture. They will support themselves, and the hardship of the country will not allow the students to afford the drink. So I will not support them.
If they increase it, there are some people that cannot afford to eat. So if they increase it, there are some people that will be starved. So it's not nice. So the government should please reduce the cost of beverages.
The increment of those things, materials, food items, the increment will not be nice to some students, because it's not every student that can afford it. And then I would beg that from the federal government right to the final consumers to make to look into that, and also to make sure all those things are covered, because it's not every student that can afford the increment of those materials.
The sugar-sweetened beverage, SSB, is categorized as a liquid that contains natural or added sweeteners, including various forms of sugar such as brown sugar, corn sweetener, corn syrup, raw sugar, and malted syrup. They may also include soft drinks like juice, nectar, sweetened coffee, energy drinks, specialty drinks, and flavored dairy. Nigeria is not the first country to impose an excise tax on sugar-sweetened beverage. Over 50 countries have already introduced sugar-sweetened beverage taxes to reduce the intake of such drinks and also encourage manufacturers to reduce sugar content. In an interview, Mr. Victor Oga and some respondents said the beverage consumption does have disadvantage on human health, while other respondents pleaded with government to reduce the tax on beverage.
It helps the manufacturers to curtail the rate at which they put sugar into these beverages. In as much as we use it in our day-to-day lives, it will help at least not inflict a lot of disease in us, such as overweight, obesity, type 2 diabetes, heart disease, certain types of cancer, stroke, and the rest. So with this help of tax placed on them, they'll know that the rate at which they are producing it would diminish.
It's not nice, it's not like it's very bad. Like, I don't have money, how would do? It really affects us. So it really affects those that really depend on SNAP like that. It really affects them. Most people do, even with the increment of price, they'll still afford it, but it's lost on their part.
First of all, I'll say it's not actually a good thing. There are people out there who actually rely on these things to survive. It's actually going to make things very difficult for parents to meet up for their children, like in terms of morning breakfast for children who are going to school. So it's not a good idea for me.
Despite any industry pushback for this tax, it is important that we safeguard the health of Nigerians. For CRBC News Panorama, I am Akamkpa reporting.
That is all we have on our lineup this week. We hope to be back same time next week. I am Josephine Efanga.